Hello. Today I want to talk about jealousy. Now, I'm not a person that's typically jealous. However, last night I had a dream in which I was jealous, and I decided I was going to explore that just a little bit for the edification of myself and also anyone who might check out this blog. Essentially, you can pretty much get everything out of the post that I'm going to put up, but just to give you a little bit of background of my own position on jealousy, I feel that a unique being cannot be jealous. As I mentioned in the blog, I was raised to believe that God was jealous. And even as a young person, I didn't really understand that because I thought, well, how could God be jealous if there's only one? Who would God be jealous of? It doesn't make any sense to me. If there's only one and you're the all-powerful one, how could you be jealous? But furthermore, it didn't make sense for me to be jealous because I looked at it as if someone were particularly interested in me or the gifts I had to offer, if it's in a position of an employment or something like that, and they tried to motivate me through jealousy or try to communicate to me through jealousy, I never really understood it very well because I would just say, well, you can choose someone else. You don't have to choose me. And I didn't feel like I had to do anything to prove to someone in a relationship whether I love them or a job. If my work didn't speak for me, then there was no reason for me to do any of the other things that people seem to want from people to get. I'm going to say emotional fixes. That's not exactly what I mean, but essentially emotional fixes. Whether the person wants to assert their power or whether or not the person is trying to feel safe, or whether the person is feeling threatened, and they try to communicate through different types of emotional manipulation, or sometimes just communication because the person doesn't know how to communicate any other way. There was a time when I would get very annoyed with people across the board for communicating that way because I thought that a responsible being might be able to say, hey, look, this is what I feel, this is where I am, this is my position, and then express from there. But I've discovered over time that there's a lot of things that are working underneath the psyche where people get motivated or are hindered by things that they are not even aware of. And like people who avoid confrontation. And so I started to try to work with compassion to try to understand what the person is trying to express when they try to induce jealous behavior from me, no matter what the situation is. And there's people that communicate with that energy a lot. So what I did is I posted my top 5 reasons or my top 5 interpretations of people trying to induce jealous behavior. And you can apply that at work. You can apply it with your relationships. You can apply it with your family, your children, your parents, whatever the case may be. It's not an exact science. It's just my experience, and I'm trying to just digest it and make it palatable for the people who view this blog. So I'm putting it out there. Hope you get something out of it. And if you don't, well, send me a message on where I can improve in my articulation of this concept. But I think you will get something out of it, at least one out of the 5 points. So I hope you do. And if you do, share it or comment on it because I'd like to see how this is working. Thanks for your time.